Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry, and with me here at This Is My Bourbon Weekend 2024, it's the Whiskey Mutant, Eric.
It's me. And there's people in the room. They're watching us.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird.
It's kind of late, too.
This couch is nice.
Yeah, and we described this. I just want to, before we get too far into this, I described this particular piece of art on Patreon. But now, if you are watching the video, you get to see the coked out madness that is hanging above us. It's nuts, man. There's some craziness. I might have to censor out one particular portion just so YouTube doesn't take the video down.
This is fine hunting art in the wild. We found this.
I mean, it just looks so much like a penis.
In the wild. What is this? Can you zoom in on this?
No, I have to. I think I'm gonna have to blur it out.
It's not.
It's art.
Fingers don't look like that. They just don't. There's a finger. Sorry, audio listeners, love you to death. There's a finger that looks very phallic.
And if you don't know what phallic means, it means it's a pee-pee.
Thank you, Darren.
What did he say?
He said it looks like it has a foreskin.
It does.
Yeah.
There's no pink there. No, like purple.
Anyway, look.
Are you going to put the blurry thing on it?
I genuinely might.
Can you do that if I do it if I do that?
Yeah, it's just a layer over top of the video.
Oh. I'll try to make it harder on you. Get it?
I think genuinely sometimes, like, especially when I'm going and editing the podcast, that there is a part of you that hates me.
No, I don't. I want to challenge you.
So in some time, there are moments then where you really are that 80s dad who's like, he's got to learn.
Yeah, you got to learn. I want to see you succeed.
The pain makes him stronger.
I want to see you succeed. And a lot of times I say, will you put something on there? And then I go back and look at that and you don't put it on there.
Well, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
But you could do this.
The blur?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, sometimes there's stuff I say you should do it and you don't. You could do it.
Hey,
I know you have the potential.
Steamboat Willie edit.
I know you have the potential.
Okay, let's move on. We are recording this the night before the live show, so we don't know how it's going to go. But I am going to go ahead and say thank you so much to everybody who came out to it.
Rubber ducky. I found this in your bathroom.
Audio listeners, I love you to death. Eric just reached into his pocket and pulled out a yellow rubber ducky. Now, you could have given me maybe a million guesses. I don't know. I don't know if I could have guessed that a yellow rubber ducky would have come out of his pocket at any point. But here we are. We normally have set decorations, and I guess this is what we have to decorate our set this week in the 21C Hotel in downtown Lexington, Kentucky.
And dicks.
A blurred out phallic looking finger.
Will it stay there the whole time, the blur?
Yeah. He keeps waving his hand in front of the finger.
I'm trying to make you have to
in front of the finger penis. And
can you just put John Cena right there?
I just did. John Cena's there now. But you know the problem with John Cena? You can't see him.
Oh. And you can't see that dick now because you edited it.
You're killing me, Smalls. You know what it is? It's the childlike wonderment in your eyes as you look at it and think, I'm going to mess with him. But it's so simple. It's just like, yeah, I'm going to do it now. And you just wave your hand a little bit. Anyway, the live show is this weekend. It's already happened for the people who are just 2 seconds so I can get this sentence out.
Sick of it.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you to everybody who came out to it. Thank you to everybody who also came to the meetup portion of the weekend, which is you people who are here in the room as well. You made this a very successful weekend. We could not have done it without you. This has been one of my favorite meetup weekends we have ever done. It's been just tremendously fun and goofy, and really one of the more relaxed ones as well.
It has.
Somehow.
I will 100% say that there has been less pressure, more fun. And
even though we've done more,
but
is weird.
I don't know. I think the group we got is great, and Don is a dirty boy.
Double fist.
Yeah, it's weird to see somebody who's so sweet and kind and nurture just devolve so rapidly, and I don't know how to explain it other than I think he's just been around you too much. Yeah, it's been a blast, but we are currently looking forward to the live show tomorrow. But tickets are not on sale anymore. I'm kind of happy
if you missed it, you've missed out by now.
Yeah, but we will be putting out some of the audio from it in about a month. I think we'll be putting out the interview portions from it, so it's going to be a little bit of a different episode. I think we'll kind of bookend it with, our normal stuff.
Normal stuff
that we do.
Throw some
intro,
of the outros
outros
in there. Yeah.
But be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, though, if you want to support the show, you can do so by heading to patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month, you can get bonus content over there, which includes, but is not limited to, the pregame chats, which comes out every Tuesday. The uncut. What is so funny? I'm just doing my normal spiel, people.
Leave him alone.
The peanut gallery is just, there were the penis gallery. Don Nishida.
See, a little dirty boy over there.
The uncut version of every episode as well. I'm losing my mind. The uncut version of the podcast also comes out every Tuesday. And there is a bonus episode that also comes out every Monday as well. That is Pop Chicka Wow Wow or Sample Irresistible or Pours from the Floor.
Did them all this week.
We did them all last night before a very brave man had to go rescue some
kittens.
Some kittens and a baby, I think.
And
there was a fire.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, thank you to everybody who does support us as well. You're the best. Some of them, a lot. Actually, all of you are
Give yourself
Patreon supporters.
hands right now.
Every
Everybody
single
in the
one of
room.
you in here is a Patreon supporter. Y'all are wonderful.
This is their podcast.
This is your bourbon podcast.
This is your podcast. Babe, this is our podcast.
We normally kick off episodes with Flying Blind. And we're going to change things up a little bit this week because we want to treat most of this episode as kind of hanging out with the folks who are here. And we wanted to do actually our review for the episode up front. And so we're going to do just that. This is one of our favorite triannual episodes that we get to do, where we double up on reviews. These are the Larceny and Elijah Craig barrel proof releases. These are the B524s. Larceny is 120...
125.4.
6 to 8 years old, and the Elijah Craig is 11 years, 3 months?
2 months.
2 months old, but it is 130.6 proof.
130 points. Oh.
And there was much rejoicing. Thank you, Lucy. So what we normally do with these is we start with the Larceny and then we go to the Elijah Craig. We would, however, like to invite one of you for one of these and somebody for the other one. So if anybody would like to join us for
if anybody's palate is reviewable right now, come on over.
Max is chugging water at the moment so that he can review one of these. Here we go. Here we go. He's stepping up to the plate. No?
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, Larceny's first.
Yeah, come on. We got it over here.
Larceny is first.
God, dude is in the zone.
There we go. He's ready.
Let me tell y'all, listen. This man right here, just met him this weekend.
Max, I'm sorry you're not on camera. But
He's an instant legend in the field of ketchup, in the field of barrels. I mean, the dude is just doing stuff I would never think.
left, right, and center.
Yeah. Just a combo of everything amazing. Max, we appreciate you for coming to the weekend.
Bought the very last VIP ticket. Jumped on week of for the meetup and everything. Just super excited that you're here. I think you're a part of it as well. Thank you so much for being here.
Now you got to work.
Yeah. Earn your keep.
Earn
anyway,
your keep.
We'll remind you to, please, when you speak, be on the mic.
Yep.
There we go. He's a pro already.
Yeah, he's taking my spot.
Do want to remind everybody as well, these 2 bottles were sent to us by Heaven Hill. So we did not purchase them. However, we will be as honest as we always are with these reviews.
I would be honest with this if they sent it to us or if I found it in the wild.
In nature?
The wild.
Oh.
If you hunted it,
In the wild.
put on that camo.
This smells very proofy.
Yes.
Very alcohol forward to me.
Which I do not mind for a Larceny release, a Larceny barrel proof release. I think that proof gets hidden in all of these Larceny barrel proof releases. Also, if anybody else wants to try this, we'll pass around the sample bottle.
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't mean to cuck y'all with these.
Anybody wants to try it? There it is.
Anybody? Bueller?
Yeah, I want some, please.
Tony, could you come up to the board and please do problem number 4?
The answer is 4.
No, I said come up to the board. Oh. No, you're doing problem number 4.
The answer is also 4. As in, what is 2 plus 2?
All right.
I do think it's proofy, but I don't think that it is overpowering the actual whiskey itself.
I can't get any other notes other than
No, I think
alcohol.
it's really brown sugary too. Max, what do you think?
I get alongside that like butter, like really almost burnt, but not quite.
Yeah.
It's in line with the last year of stuff they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And while the nose was more like the stuff I've tried at least earlier, with the ethanol forwardness that was not as good like when they started, they've changed that.
Yeah. I don't think it's as good as A124, but I don't think that it's a step backward. You know what I mean? You do?
There's so much just alcohol. And like I've cleansed my palate. I haven't had anything to drink for a while. Like I'm just getting nothing but alcohol. Like I can't get any notes on this thing.
I could not disagree more.
Okay. I don't care.
I
I'm just saying. No,
brown sugar, brown butter. I think that there is a like fresh popcorn note
who else has got
on
it?
this too.
There's something a little astringent on that finish, too.
I agree with that. I think the finish is one of the weaker parts of it, but as far as like the older batches of Larceny Barrel Proof, this is still heads and shoulders.
I think it fits in the category of the newer one.
Yeah, which is what you were saying too, Max. That it's still in like it still shows that they have made progress. But yeah, it's not the C923. It's not the A124.
I don't know. I can see some of that baking spice, the brown sugar, but I feel like this is just that overpowering like alcohol. Like on the nose, on the palate. I don't know. That's just what I'm getting. It's almost, with that proof and everything, it's almost one of those bottles that I would be like, you know what? After I'm done like really digging into something and I wanted some more high proof, I would just get that because there's nothing that like sticks out on this to me.
All right, so after the alcohol burn, which I agree with you on, Eric, I smell like an apple, like
Sandwich.
Apple sandwich.
Like an apple strudel, like an apple pastry.
Like a pastry?
Yeah, apple
Okay.
pastry.
I like that.
It does have more heat, but it's not the same heat that was present in the first couple of years of batches, because that was heat without that complexity that you wanted from something higher proof.
Yeah.
And this is in the same tradition of like building out something that's actually a lot better at its price point than a lot of other things that you compare it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will agree that it is a level above those first
Definitely.
few. I think it just, to me, it falls more in that line, like a better version of those.
What was the very first Larceny Barrel Proof A120?
Yes.
That was undrinkable
Yes.
to me.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was so flat up front, and then it was astringent like the rest of the way through.
It's a lot. I mean, I think we've, and I think it just falls in line with those earlier ones, but it's better than the earlier ones. I will agree with that. So.
Yeah. All right. So our review system on the podcast is nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. We'll start with nose. I'm going to let Max start with the nose on this one.
Nose, I'm giving like a 3,
Okay.
3.5, somewhere in there.
Eric, what do you think?
2.5.
I'm going to stick with 3.
Good.
On this one as well. Palate. Hold on, I'll go back to it.
2.5.
Mm-mm.
For me.
I see where this is going. Yeah. The consistent boy.
On this one, it's the same thing from nose, palate, finish. I might change it on price, but
Okay.
it's pretty much the same.
Max, what do you say?
3 on palate.
I think I have to agree with you. This is so strange because
I really want to like it more than it is.
Yeah.
Because I've been such a fan of the previous couple of them.
finish really is where it dips for me. And it is not just the astringent note. It goes a little flat. I'm going to go with 2 on the finish. Yeah, I'm going 2 on the
I'm
finish.
still 2.5.
Okay.
2.5. It has at least it has some depth, like it lingers long enough.
Sure,
It
yeah.
doesn't just cut.
It does have a decent lingering finish. It doesn't add anything extra to the
Yeah.
notes.
There is a lot of residual
Just a
ethanol
Kentucky Hug.
on the finish.
That's what it is.
Still $65 per bottle. I think it's a great price for a fair. Huh?
Who's talking?
I'm whispering.
Share with the class.
Go ahead.
I was saying probably more like 70.
But I'm going with MSRP,
Okay.
which is
Nope.
our rule of thumb.
Go to Costco. Go to Costco and get it for 55.
Just playing, Tony.
Costco is 55 for a Larceny barrel proof.
I paid $55 out the door after tax in Indiana for the last 3 releases. And it just sat on the floor. Just sat there. Because
That's
everybody's
ridiculous.
chasing Elijah Craig, even if they complain about it. And so they leave this.
Huh. Well, if it's 55, that's like a 4.
It's
Here we go. It always comes down to the price. We're always going
but
crazy.
it's a good price for a barrel proof weeder. If it's
I know, but
that
what
available.
price are we judging this
if it's
on?
MSRP of 65, that's still probably a 4. But like if it's lower
I
than that,
agree.
it's like, what is that, 4.5, 4.5 at 50, 55? Like where stores are getting in at that.
I will say this would be a 4 if it was the previous batches. This batch, 2.5.
Wow.
I mean, I would rather get
Sure.
freaking
this,
what's the foolproof we always get? No.
Benchmark?
Benchmark. I would rather, if I'm just going to get something that's 120 plus proof, I would rather get a benchmark.
I think comparatively, I would rather get Maker's cast strength.
Yeah, but I'm just saying as far as like the cheapest.
I understand.
Yeah. So, I guess if you're getting a weeder like that.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking strictly like
Based on what this
based
batch
on
is.
just proof.
I think that's a good rule of thumb. I will give it a 3 in that case. Okay. Then, comparatively, as far as cast strength weeders go,
I'm a 10.
I got to do quick math. 9,
Anybody else try it over there?
11.
Yeah.
Quick, like right off the top of your head, scores. What would you say?
12.5 or 13, depending.
12-ish.
But
Sure.
so much is priced because it's
Variable.
when you look at cast strength weeders, like you're not going to find a Weller or something like that. That's what people are chasing is cast strength weeders, and you're not going to find that for anywhere near this
Right.
because the MSRP on that does not matter.
I don't think that's a bad score by any means either.
No.
You know. What'd you say, Brian? Yeah.
But I think one thing to point out about Larceny, though, being a weeded bourbon, Larceny has never even been on the level of like Maker's Mark or Weller.
Well,
or
it's definitely
anything.
not on the level of consistency.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so hard to get Larceny to that point to even compete with
But
those.
it could be.
It could, but
It's
like
Heaven
you said,
Hill. Like
it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
So
Good batches are great batches, and the other batches are just not as consistent.
Yeah.
our bad batches.
Right, but the good batches rate higher than that Maker's.
You did it again, didn't you?
I did it again.
But no, Makers has done one thing. They've not changed what they do for 50 plus years. And if Heaven Hill is trying to make 7 million different things as they do, there's going to be problems because when you refine the process of making the same thing for that long, it becomes
Max,
more
They
consistent.
put stuff in a cellar and they aged it.
That's because you can't call it a cave.
Max, thank you for joining us for the
I
Larceny
think
review.
at this point you have to
Max.
blame the IRS for arresting Al Capone.
Okay, Max, thanks for joining
That's
us
why.
for the Larceny
That's why.
review.
That's why.
We'll see you on the. This is my ketchup podcast.
Anybody want to join us for the what's it? Elijah Craig barrel proof. Brian Brennicky. Ooh.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing. No matter what Elijah Craig you have, that cork and that bottle make the best sound every time. Does anybody else want to get on the mic for this one? There's 2 mics. All right, Darren.
There we go, Darren. I was gonna give some.
Darren, my boy. I won't pressure you like the last episode. I promise. Maybe not. We'll see.
Now, as with any Elijah Craig barrel proof bottle that we get
serious.
sent.
You're getting serious. I can tell.
Yes. However, I did sample this a little bit because it got
You
sent.
always do this.
It's
And you always send me a picture, and you're like, "Look what we got," and then you do a little.
And I go, I'm gonna have some.
and you go, "I might have a little bit," and I go, "Fuck you! I know you're going to." I'm at work or something too, and I'm like, "There's no way I could possibly have anything." And you're just like, "Look what I'm doing."
You know what though? For whatever reason, UPS runs by our house at like 7:00. We are the last stop in town for some reason. I don't know.
The perfect time for a pour.
Anyway, so as we said, this is 11 years, 2 months, 130.6 proof.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Brian needed
Correct.
his readers and he didn't have them, so he had to go for
The long arm.
Now.
Yeah, this is
Hey, leave the old guys alone. Come on now.
That's right.
so for anybody I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. The blur stays there.
We'll see. What?
I don't know how to explain to you how video editing works.
That's why I don't have it. Okay, you can put your arm on me on that one. That
it as much love as everybody gave, and admittedly as much love as I gave too, to C923. This is one of the more Elijah Craig barrel proofs that we have gotten in a while.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Agree.
So,
Yeah, on the
like,
nose.
this-
Yeah.
I've only smelled it, but it's
this
Yeah.
does
We can pass the bottle around too.
this
Sorry.
does what the Larceny doesn't in the way
Anybody?
that I smell it and I can tell that it's got proof, but it's not overpowering. It's like I got tons of notes already,
Yeah.
and that's
It's got
this
the
is just
classic
a
Heaven Hill nose.
classic Heaven Hill nose. You can tell it's proofy, but you can just dig deep into this thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is
I tell you, like from the jump, it's at least like a 4 nose.
I may say a 4.5.
the nose is very, very good.
Yeah. Darren, I'm going to ask you just to get on the mic a little bit more.
You
The
can
nose
pull it-
is
you can pull
very,
it
Yeah,
towards
very
you can.
good.
Yeah, you can move it even closer to
Do
you
this,
as
do
well.
this thing.
I don't want to make a bunch of noises.
He's not on camera, so he can do whatever he wants to.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's
He can do
just
whatever.
it really
Just
picks up, especially when you're like
put it
closer
in
to
there.
it.
Is this better?
Yeah.
All right.
What is it? This is pecan wheel. This is a
Honestly, yeah, that's
Pecan will.
exactly what it is. Lucy, I want you to smell this one too, because
She can smell mine.
okay, well that works.
On the nose, it really does have that deep oaky richness that older Elijah Craig barrel proof batches have always had.
Yep.
I get a lot
Do
of
y'all,
pecan.
do y'all see that there's something floral about this too? There is something
On the
like,
nose or on the palate?
on the nose.
Oh, I'm getting that.
There
now,
is
yeah.
something like very slightly floral in there.
Yeah, that is an uncommon characteristic, isn't it?
Yeah. Which I'm not knocking by any means. I just think it's like
Yeah, it's a standout.
it's a little
kind of note.
bonus.
Aw.
Aw, ducky. Audio listeners love you to death. Rubber Ducky just took a little.
Yeah, it was really good.
Eric and Rubber Ducky have become best friends.
Took a little sippy of the Elijah
This
Craig.
tastes really good.
You tasted it already?
No, the duck tasted it.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm going to taste it now.
Eric's making gestures.
It's bourbon. Okay, wait. Bread pudding creme brulee.
Oh, absolutely.
If
I
there
was
if
gonna
there
s-
ever were such a thing, that is what this palette is to me.
I wasn't going to say the creme brulee, but I was going to say it's bread pudding. It's
But
straight
it's got
up.
that custard thing to it too.
It's straight up bread pudding in one of the diners here. Several diners in Lexington make bread pudding, and they always put too much bourbon in the bourbon sauce, which is good to me. And some people are probably like, "Whoa," you know.
Yeah.
But like, that's what it is.
That sure is strong.
That's strong. That's
It's okay, Mima. It cooks down.
That gonna make me take
I don't
my
know. I'm
clothes
not
off tonight for that.
Watch out, Hank.
I already got one titty out.
Did you bring your blue pill?
Go ahead and take it now.
I already popped it. Sheila.
I'm going to say
Hank
bread.
and Sheila.
This is straight up just diner bread pudding that they just poured extra bourbon into it, and it's delicious.
The finish goes really butterscotch heavy.
Yep. I'm going to say in the
finish
middle,
was
I'm getting
classic.
strawberry jam too. So like
Yeah.
bread
Ooh.
pudding
Yeah.
into like a strawberry jam. Yeah. Into
Yeah.
just a
That's-
really
and
nice
that's-
finish.
That's kind of crazy because part of me started thinking that this was like leaning toward weeded profile. And I always get strawberry. I always
Yep.
get strawberry and biscuits on weeded stuff. This is good.
Yeah.
Heaven Hill, y'all made it up to me on your PGA.
Yeah, that PGA bottle was not meant to be opened, was it? We're still talking about it 3 episodes later. Which, if anybody's wondering what happened to that bottle, I handed it off to my dad, and he finished it. So,
He loves golf, right?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And bourbon on the rocks with a splash of water.
Okay, here we go.
I wasn't going to drink it.
I'll say significantly better than the A124. Miles better.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I haven't gone back and tried the A124 since we reviewed it.
I'm through
Like that-
I'm
that-
through half of my bottle and hasn't. I keep going back.
Yeah.
It's
But it's just sad.
yeah.
Like I
just
I
didn't
haven't
hit- it
even been
didn't hit for
interested
me.
in going back to it.
But this though, the B, this is the real stuff.
It's the most uniquely characteristic Elijah Craig barrel proof that we've had in so long. And you know, to their credit too, Heaven Hill was so consistent with Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Yep.
And that was never a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were
absolutely.
always like this huge flavor bomb. And this is too, but it's just in a different way. It's its own
Yep.
product. And again, like, you know, we were so worried about, you know, the age statement going all weird.
Yep.
Whatever.
Consistent.
I don't care anymore.
I love that was like a moment in bourbon time where everybody was like,
Let's panic. What are we gonna do? But like, if they're gonna make good whiskey and it's younger than 12 years old, fine. But they can't have like a stinker and then follow it up with a banger.
stinker and a banger. Sister Barrels, that would be a great pick.
Oh my goodness.
I bet you I know which one would sell out quicker.
Stinker.
Yep.
This is a contender for the best B batch.
Think so?
Like ever.
I would agree because consistently, I am always A is good, B is usually my least favorite, and C's are always so fucking good.
Yeah.
This doesn't obviously have the depth and well the age and the depth of the the last C923 banger, but I think this is the best B batch maybe ever. This is
I don't disagree with that.
this is close.
Yeah. It's
Close
great.
to the banger.
Yeah.
Yeah. He laughed at his own joke.
I love that. That's what I love that. That's confident.
It happened so quickly too. He was like, I know this is a winner.
To me, doing jokes all weekend and waiting for you to laugh, and then you don't, and you just go, "Fucking shut up." And then I just get mad. This is good. This is straight up good barrel proof whiskey.
It is, and I don't read it as much like Elijah Craig barrel proof as I do just kind of like a weird one-off single barrel. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's a good call.
Yeah, like you just kind of found a really weird or good single barrel when you're doing a pick.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing by any means, but I just love that it's kind of off profile for what
Right.
Elijah Craig barrel proof does, and
It
is,
does. It leans towards a wheated barrel proof whiskey.
which makes sense for you for why you like it
Exactly.
so much. Yeah, let's go through our nose, palate, finish, and price again here. Darren, Brian.
Okay. On the nose, man. Super complex. Lots of great aromas coming off of it. I'm gonna give it a 4 on the nose.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm a 4 on the nose also.
Eric.
I'm a 4 on the nose also. I really am. A 4.
Well, I'll be the consistent one as well, and I'm also going to give it a 4.
I think this nose is just a few, like, a little bit of depth, a little bit of, like, complexity away from being a 5. Like, there's just a little bit that if it had a little bit more, it would be a 5.
Yeah. Boy, that palate. 4.5. 4.5.
4.5.
I mean, I don't even really know. It's one of those things where, like, when you know, you know.
Oh, you said it.
No,
Dangerously close, Barry.
but it's not the thing I hate.
It's not if, it's when.
When you know.
Thank you.
That's too close.
It's very close.
Tiptoeing.
But I don't know what would quite push this into 5 territory for me.
really close.
But it's not there yet.
It's almost there.
It's almost there. But it is
When it's
so
there.
close.
It's there.
When it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
It's so close though. 4.5.
you know, the initial punch is there and it carries into the mid palate.
Yeah.
And it stays at that high level.
Yeah.
I give it a 4.
Finish.
Can you come back to me? I'm still working on
Yeah,
that.
sure. Why not? We got time.
I'm going to go to a 4 on the finish.
Okay.
4.5. Dude, I love this finish. I think I get more of the, like Brian was saying, the biscuits and strawberry on the finish.
Strawberry.
Yeah, it's strawberry.
Strawberry.
He said it, strawberry.
I think he said it first.
Yeah, before I even tasted it. But legit, like
The finish is still
legit.
going.
It's legit. It's long, strong,
It's
And,
friction on.
and it lasts. It's good.
Eric, when you talk about tasting and colors and seeing that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
on the finish, I almost get like black, and it's almost like too much barrel char or something like that.
You get char. You think of char.
On the finish, I'm getting more like a 2.5. It's
Interesting.
Just, it's
Interesting.
hitting me
That's your
too
thing.
I like
too
that.
bitter and not. Well, it's hitting me personally too bitter.
Okay. Bitter
I
finish.
don't mind that at all. I am really glad that you pointed out the barrel char because I was missing that part of it. But I 100% agree with that note. I love it.
I love me some char.
On another night, I might be totally into it.
Yeah.
But tonight, it's just like it hit me like, ooh, aggressive.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Because you pointed that out, that's what pushed me into a 5 on the finish.
Damn. Darren's an influencer.
That
Not really.
it already. I was like, the finish just makes me want to keep going back and back and back to this whiskey. And thinking about, like, again, the experience of it almost being like a unicorn barrel or a honey barrel or whatever, like in the experience of going on a barrel pick or whatever. And then that added note of like tasting it straight from the barrel too, without the filtering, without, you know, that just that added, you know, care of like once it actually goes into the bottle. I think this is a very true to form, like what bourbon was kind of intended to be experience. This is up there with like some of my favorite batches of Elijah Craig barrel proof ever. I mean,
You do tend to love the punchier Elijah Craig
I
barrel
do.
proofs.
I do.
Harry's Punch.
It's
Not
a shame
really.
that I already named a pick that.
You could do 2. All you have to do is put 2.
Ah,
Harry's
well, that's
Punch too.
true. Yeah. It can't. It doesn't have to be another new Lou.
No.
I guess.
You
No.
also
Yeah.
named a blend that, and I love that blend that you named Harry's Punch.
Yeah. What was the blend?
Rare breed, Knob Creek, single barrel.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Isn't there a third one? Come on, Perry, you're supposed to know. You're blind.
Stag Junior?
Yes.
It had to be.
No.
Yeah.
It had to be.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That
All
was
his favorite
COVID
barrel
blend.
proofs.
Yeah, or any Buffalo Trace barrel proof.
So
Price
we're still at what?
65-ish.
65?
Yeah.
Can
thought
we
it went
get it
up.
for 65?
Did it?
I thought
I thought it was like 7.
Would it? Is it?
75.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate to hear that. That bums me out a lot.
They are thinking about raising it again to 80.
Oh.
Okay, Max.
Way to bring the
You
room
already
down.
broke my heart once. Let's stick with 75. Max just said, for anybody who couldn't hear, he said 75 is what the MSRP is right now for Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Welcome to bourbon in 2024.
Yeah.
Still $75 for this.
Still a 5.
It's a 5.
It's a 5, man. It's a 5. It shot up real quick into a contender for.
Darren?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, Darren.
I give it a 4.
4? Hey, we'll take it. I think this tastes every bit of a freaking allocated BTAC style bottle all day long.
Yeah.
$100 more, I would be okay with this. So
I don't know about
That's-
that. That's kind of.
Don't tell Heaven.
at $100, I would pay $100 for this.
Oh, okay. $100, yes,
I
but
thought
not
you meant
$100 more.
175.
Do what?
You said $100 more.
No, $100 or more is what I was saying.
Oh, okay. You said $100 more.
That's very. Yeah.
You confused me.
The only reason I gave it a 4 on the price is because I'm still thinking about C923 and how good that one was. Like, I would give that one a 5 on the price, but this one is like,
Sure.
it's just not quite living up to that one.
Yeah.
It's close.
I 18.
So I gave a 5. That was a 9. That was a 5, and that would be a 14. 4. So that's a stop. You genuinely made me lose count. 18. Yeah.
17 and a half.
I was not keeping track. I'm sorry. Sorry.
You had a
Darren,
lot-
I wasn't keeping track of yours
you
either.
had, you had 4s pretty much.
And then a 2.5.
You were like a 14, right?
Like 3 4s and a 2.5?
No,
Is that what
you
you
said.
said?
Yeah,
So, yeah, like a 14.5.
4.
Yeah.
14.5.
We got you, bro. We
Still a
got
good
you.
score.
Yeah.
Anybody
14.5.
else, real quick? Don?
It's pretty good. I like the proof. I like the brown sugar notes. It does to me finish a little sour, on the very back end, but I would give it about a 15.
About a 15 from Don Nishida, people.
Give it up.
Anyone else?
I'm right
on, Tony.
there. I'm right there with all the 4s. Yeah, I think it's really close to C923, except obviously the age left out the mid palate complexity, but I love the strawberry finish, and yeah, I think that's a 16. It's really good.
Tony gives us a reluctant 16.
Go.
Reluctant is a really good way to describe that. Yeah, that's
Or
solid.
confused.
All right.
There we go. I like this. I like this a lot.
Oh. Brian,
I drink it
Darren,
again.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you,
me.
Barry.
thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
What did I say last year when I was trying to get rid of the people who were on stage?
Get the hell off.
No. It was
Get off my
definitely
lawn.
not
I
that.
wasn't here
It
last
was,
year.
You've been voted off the island?
no, what was it?
Was it the
Did you start playing
when
music?
like they when a wrestler gets cut and they put it on like Twitter and they're like we thank you for your
Service?
no
Nah, it doesn't matter.
anyway
Anyway,
On
thanks,
that
guys.
note, thanks a bunch.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Eric, what have you been drinking recently?
what have I been drinking? Oh my god, what have I Texas whiskey? Who
Yeah,
said that?
had some Texas whiskey left.
Table.
Boy, oh boy, oh
Yeah.
boy.
Do you want to
Tim
start?
Bip
Do you want to start
weekend.
before last night?
I didn't really have much before last
well,
night.
we had a stressful week leading up to
Yes.
this.
Getting ready for TIMBW weekend, the live show. I told myself that I wasn't going to have anything till Thursday, and I lied. Because
There's always something.
there's always something. There's always something.
There's always something.
So midweek before the show, I decided to just go with classic Wild Turkey 101.
Surprise.
Just to soothe me, to relax me,
Yeah.
and get me ready for this.
Yeah.
But after that, I honestly don't remember everything I've had. Because we've had so much. Like, not because I, just blacked out or anything. But because...
You did brown out.
Brown out?
Yeah.
Oh, I did a definite brown out.
Yeah, we took.
For sure.
Yeah, I had to tell you to change your pants before you went home.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
Thanks for whoever made the noise. It just kind of.
but I mean, just to recap the tastings and stuff we've had.
Yeah,
we've
let's
had-
talk about that real quick because we've been keeping one of them very close to the chest for a little while.
So me and Perry did our own tasting for everybody in VIP the first night, and we had stuff from our own collection. So that's obviously things we've had. We've talked about, and then he came over.
Name him. Say his name.
Chad.
Call him by his name.
Chad My Daily Bourbon. That's his name. But he
Chad extra rare.
Chad Skin Bourbon. But no, he we asked him to prepare a tasting for our dear friends in the VIP. And I will 100% say he did not disappoint.
Golly, that was a
Give him a hand.
killer tasting.
I know he's listening. He listens.
Lucy didn't know what she was clapping for.
She's like, oh. But
She looked around nervously and started clapping because everybody else was doing the same.
But we had several pours that, as he says, I can't legally tell you what these are.
Yes.
But he took us through a 5 bottle journey from age.
Five barrel. Single barrel
Yes. Age,
journey.
lowest to highest, different agings, all the stuff. One was 140 proof.
Yeah, the third pour out of the 5.
Yes. And then he had a whole box of just stuff he wanted people to try. And then he was nice enough to
He brought bottles for
bring bottles for the
everybody to
VIP.
bring home.
So, rare character.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you very much.
so generous, and what an amazing tasting of barrels that will or have been. They basically are now products that have been selected for other people, or other groups to be their own. And then there was a very special rye as well that we got to try before dinner too, that we cannot talk about.
No, lots of not talk about.
Yeah, but
I will let you talk about what we can talk about. Our buddy at RD1.
yes, we did go visit Barry Brenniger at RD1 down at the Distillery District, whom you should go see and be a patron of. If you have not done so yet, they are doing really wonderful things. They are sourcing the Green River mash bill bourbon for their product currently. They're also going to be laying down their own new make barrels very soon, so that they are going to officially be a distillery, which is very cool. I always think about, and this was a concern I had very early on with Bullet as well. What are they going to do when they want to actually become a distillery, right? How are they going to replicate that process? Well, Bullet was really clever, and they said, we're just going to copy Four Roses. That's literally what they did. And now Four Roses is going, nobody's going to be able to copy us because we're just going to double our process.
100 recipes.
Yeah, exactly. Could you imagine? I guess that's what Bardstown Bourbon Company is essentially doing.
1,000
Any
recipes.
contractor is out there doing. Anyway, whatever. Barry is so incredibly smart about being a bourbon entrepreneur. I don't know a better way to phrase that. I've been so fortunate to know him through his journey, not just as the owner and founder of RD1, but in its infancy, as well as William Tarr back during the pandemic too. I did an interview with him while we were still in lockdown, and he sent me a bunch of samples to try. I don't know if you all remember that episode or not. And I was so impressed with what he was doing back then as well. But I think that he has just continued to elevate and improve what he is doing with their product. But we tasted through their core lineup, their standard Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey, their French oak finish, and they use staves instead of finishing in barrels as well. We tried their Amberana stave finished as well, which
Don
honestly,
got some Amberana.
Don got some thing.
He got a big
Don
old thing
did
of
something.
Amberana.
I'm not sure we can talk about it legally. It was
I did get the tip.
Yeah, the tip and more. He got more than the tip.
anyway. There was an Amberana finish, which was really a much more subtle finish as well, from what we typically have talked about. Somebody's got their... Sorry. Somebody had their Bugatti out, and it was... anyway. There was a car driving outside for anybody who couldn't hear it through the mic. And there was also a double oak and maple finish, which was... stellar, absolutely stellar. And then on top of that, everybody got to try each of those products at cast strength, and then 2 more barrels at cast strength, an applewood stave finish, and a rum barrel finish. And on top of that, if you liked any of them enough, you could thieve directly from the barrel, and you could bottle it yourself and take it home, which is super cool. And I wish more distilleries did that. And Barry and I talked about it as everybody was kind of filling their bottles up and everything. And I said, you know, when Three Boys, which is now Whiskey Thief Distilling in Frankfort, Kentucky, started doing that, that felt so revolutionary to everybody that the smaller distilleries and smaller NDPs were like, why aren't we doing this? And so more people are doing it now, which I'm really happy about. And I think that it's such a cool process, and there's such a unique thumbprint that you can put on your experience when you go to some of these places. And I'm really happy that you all got to experience that too, because, you know, how many of y'all have been on barrel picks before, right? How many of y'all have been able to thieve from a barrel before, though? Okay, how many of y'all have lost a barrel that you picked?
One.
Okay, four people.
Three.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
But it's still a very cool experience. I mean, you don't always get to do that. And so, but Barry is very good about making that accessible to people. And people, distilleries like, or people at distilleries like Three Boys or Whiskey Thief, who give you the opportunity to thieve from the barrel and bottle it yourself too. Like that's just not something that you can go to Buffalo Trace or Heaven Hill and have that experience.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's just, it's very unique and it's very hands-on. And as much good, I think, as like these bigger distilleries are doing for the whiskey, the bourbon community, or the bourbon, bourbon community, like as a whole, smaller brands are doing their part too, to really make you feel like there is something more than just your wallet,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
being an important factor.
Well, it's more intimate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. You distilled everything that I was saying down to 3 words. But on top of that, this past Tuesday was our buddy Dixon Dedman's birthday.
Uh-huh.
And so I sent him a little message and said I'm drinking some Jim in Kentucky in celebration. And I told my dad about it, and he goes, I bet he's 42. And so I texted Dixon and I said, my dad wants to know how old you are today. He goes, 43. I was like, oh, Dad, you were off by 1.
What if he was like, I don't like to tell my age?
Yes, because Dixon is the coyest boy we know. He's a little coy boy.
A little coy boy. little Dixon fairy. So we have C918.
Yes.
I'm going to put my my actual tips and bits and hot take. No, what I was going to say.
Yeah. This is for everybody. This is not just for Patreon. I had to cut out something even from the unedited. Thanks, Eric.
No, my hot take was, you know what? If you missed out on TIMBW weekend, anything, then you just missed out. You just missed out, unfortunately. And my tips and bits is come to TIMBW weekend.
Come to typical weekend is what you were about to. Is what it sounded like you were about to.
Come to TIMBW weekend.
Come to typical weekend where we read the newspaper and we eat unbuttered toast.
I would never eat unbuttered toast. No matter what we're doing, come to.
It's wheat toast, by the way.
You're making me do the thing that I make you do now, and it's pissing me off.
Well, it's called payback, and it sucks.
I am sick of it. Just hang out and have fun with your friends. Mm-hmm. Keep whiskey fun, and just enjoy it.
That's what this group did.
And that's what this group right here reminded me of this weekend, and you made me forget all of the stuff that was stressing me out about the weekend and all that. Is here we are, sharing pours, having fun, and that's all that matters.
It's been a really great, I would say even
Typical.
full. Man, it's been a really typical weekend. It's just,
Weekend 2024.
wake up, throw my legs over the bed, give a wonder, how am I going to get through it? No, that's not true. Everything has just been really, really wonderful this weekend.
Yes.
Aside from, you know what, I didn't tell. That was the very beginning of the weekend, which we do always say there's always something at TIMBW weekend, and no, it wasn't the Uber driver. The always something happened. I haven't even told you all this, I don't think. Happened within the first 5 minutes of me being here. And I checked in out front, got the valet, and I handed the guy my key to my car. The key doesn't go all the way into my fob either. It kind of is like,
That's what she said.
the key doesn't go all the way into the fob. And I was like, it won't really give you much trouble. Just Darren, get it together, man. We're on a podcast. It's a professional podcast.
Yeah, can't you tell?
And he was like, okay, I'll figure it out. So I check in at the front desk, get everything unloaded out of my car onto a luggage cart and everything. I get up here. I am in here for less than 2 minutes and the phone rings. Not my phone, not my iPhone, the room phone, and it's the front desk. And the check-in girl goes, "Hey, valet's having trouble starting your car." I go, "Oh, that's great." So I go all the way back down, and valet guy has my key in his hands, broken. I go, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, I tried to start your car and put a key in, and I tried to turn it over, and it just went and just start, and just, I got it started a little bit, and then the key kind of broke off. I don't know." And so, like, I kind of sit there in the seat, and I try to start it a little bit, and I was like, "Man, I think what happened is, like, because the key's not connected to the fob, it's activating like a security issue or whatever." He was like, "Yeah, you're probably right. I just need to try to put the key back together, and I'll let you know if I have any problems with it." I was like, "Yeah, that's a really good idea. You should probably try to fix this, because I really don't want to have to call AAA. And if it's a battery issue, they jumpstart my car on Main Street in Lexington, Kentucky." So anyway, I get back up here. I call Eric, and you say, "Hey, man, what's up?" I go, "You know how it's always something?" And you go, "What's the something?" And I go, "They can't start my car." He goes, "Well, I'm here." My luggage cart is still full, sitting basically where Don is standing. I've been in this suite for a grand total of like 3 minutes. We're expecting you all to be here in an hour. I've been up and down the elevator twice. I have to go back down to help Eric get stuff out of his car on another luggage cart, come back up here. We got 2 luggage carts in the suite at this point. Nothing is off of them. We both could just kind of sit down and we're like, is this how the whole weekend is going to go? Anyway, everything's been great since then. So
Yeah.
That's in no small part to you all. Anyway, other than that, my tips and bits are I started watching X-Men 97 this week, and it's been really good.
I finished it, and it's so good.
Fantastic.
It's so good.
I'm only up to episode 5, part 1.
Yeah. You got a couple episodes left. It's getting good.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who hasn't watched it. I'll talk about the twist on episode 5.
Yeah.
That, man, I love it.
So good.
Yeah.
It's a great series. They did it. They just
Yes.
did it good.
Yeah. So good. Anyway, I'm gonna say let's skip plugs and everything.
It's
It's a-
TIMBW weekend.
It's TIMBW weekend. If you want
We
to
got a
know how
live
you
show
can,
tomorrow.
if you want to know how to follow up with the show, how you can support us, if you want to send stuff to the PO box and everything, it's all in the description below. We love you guys. Thank you all so much as well
yourself
to
a
everybody
round of
who's
applause.
here in the suite.
Thank you. We love you, TIMBW.
We love you guys. This has been a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Love you.
Love you.
Eric, I love you.
Love you all. Love you, Tony. Look at his smile.
We'll see you all real soon. Until next time, though, I'm Perry,
I'm Eric.
and this is my Bourbon Podcast.
And this is the VIP group.
I hope there aren't quiet hours at 21C.
I'm sure it's just right now.
Okay. Bye.
See ya.